Okay, this is my 1993 Ducati 900 Super Sport. And the problem I was having, which I experienced twice before, was the battery was not charging when the motorcycle was running. I replaced the voltage regulator twice before with a used stock unit. And the experience I had before, when the bike was running during a ride, my battery light had came on, and I was fortunate enough to be near a place where we charged the battery enough where I can get home. But of course that indicated the battery was not charging, and found out that it was the voltage regulator. This last time, what had happened was I noticed it was slow to start. I got it out at the beginning of the year, and right away the battery light was not on, but I went ahead and I checked the battery voltage, and of course used the regular multimeter, checked the voltage across the terminals of the battery, and with the bike off I was getting about 12.5 volts. After the bike was started, I went ahead and I checked again, and you should see, as you rev the motor, you should see an increase in voltage with, of course, the leads in the multimeter hooked up. As I revved the motor up to about 2,000 or 3,000 RPM, I did not see any increase in voltage, which indicated the battery was not charging. So, of course, you check the first thing, easiest things first. You come around to this side of the bike, there is a charging fuse right here. On the Super Sport it's here, on the Monsters it's somewhere over in here, I'm not sure according to the manual. But basically you pop this open, and there you have just a piece of steel, and I checked the resistance across there and I didn't see any cracks, so I assumed that was good. Then I came across here. All along, of course, you know, I replaced the voltage regulator twice before, so I suspected that's what it was. Voltage regulator is found right here. Sorry for the low light levels, but it's up under here. You have a few leads coming from it, which I'll show you on the new one, which I purchased, which is the leads are identical on the one that's on the bike. You have two leads which go to the stator. These ones go to the indicator light. This one goes back to the battery for the charging of the battery. This is an aftermarket upgrade. I had emailed the company, and they said it would work. This is an EDL 450, which is 450 watts. The bike's output is 350. So I emailed, I had some concerns. It said you need to upgrade the stator and rotor if you make any upgrades to the voltage regulator, but I emailed and talked to the guy that makes this, or the company, and they said it would be fine, which is kind of common sense. If the bike's output is 350, the voltage regulator is rated at 450, so it would be different, I'm sure, if it was the other way around, if you had a lower wattage voltage regulator putting on to a higher output stator. So anyway, according to the manual here, I have the book, which is a Ducati workshop manual. I went ahead, like I said, and I checked the charging fuse. Then what I did is I checked the wires coming from the stator. These are normally up here, and what I did, like I said, I replaced it twice before. This is a common thing on these bikes. The wires tend to melt. It's kind of substandard lower gauge wires, so I went ahead and I put thicker wires on here before, heat shrink tubing upgraded. Anyway, I took the multimeter, connected the leads, and you are to check for resistance according to the manual. So I checked resistance across these two wires, and you know, of course if you see 0 or no change, then that's the stator is bad, or some other component in there, the rotor may be. But I checked resistance here. Well, actually it would be the stator for the windings, so that was good. I got some kind of resistance across here. My next thing I wanted to check was all the leads. Now I disconnected these. There's that one. That was to the warning indicator light. And I have another one here. These are the ones going to the stator that I have clipped already. And according to the manual here, same thing, you get a multimeter and you check across each one, like the yellow from the bike, the yellow to the stator, or the yellow. Anyway, you're supposed to find some kind of resistance across there. Basically, you get the multimeter and you hold it, one of the yellows and maybe the white here, and you go across each wire. Of course, this time, I checked here and I found some kind of resistance. I checked resistance across these few wires and nothing. So that leads me to believe that the voltage regulator is once again bad. So what I'm going to do is, again, like I showed you here, I'm going to upgrade to the this voltage regulator. And what I'm going to do is, I have these connectors on here. What I'll do is put these on my upgraded wires. So it's a simple plug-in type. I have some heat shrink tubing, which I'll go across there to keep some of the moisture out, stuff like that. Put it all back together, and hopefully we'll get it charging again. We'll see what happens.